Today's gospel reading comes from Matthew chapter 1. Now the birth of Jesus, the Messiah, took place in this way. When his mother Mary had been engaged to Joseph, but before they lived together, she was found to be with child from the Holy Spirit. Her husband Joseph, being a righteous man and unwilling to expose her to public disgrace, planned to dismiss her quietly. But just when he had resolved to do this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, "Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." All this took place to fulfill what had been spoken by the Lord through the prophet. "Look, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel," which means God is with us. When Joseph awoke from sleep, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded him. He took her as his wife, but he had no marital relations with her until she had borne a son, and he named him Jesus. The Gospel of our Lord.
Praise to you, Christ.
Please be seated. So, I'm not sure what's going on in your lives or in your homes, but it is in my life and in my home, it's a pretty hectic time. It's a few days before Christmas, and we're all pretty busy, if we're honest. At least I am. Life is, if I had to describe it, is overwhelming right now. We've got last-minute shopping to do. We've got to get ready for all the Christmas Eve services. My wife is a pastor of a church as well, so we have 5 services that we have to get ready for. We have children that need to be cared for. We have family Christmas going on at my house. And so all of my relatives are coming to my house after the second service today. So there's all of the last-minute cleaning up that's got to be happening. And then there's the constant reminders to the kids that they can't do a single thing or even say anything because they'll mess up the house and then everything will be ruined. So they just have to sit there and be quiet, which they won't do, of course. Life is just overwhelming. And I still haven't done all my Christmas shopping and haven't got my wife's Christmas gift yet. So, it's hectic, right? And as I was thinking about all these things and running errands and going in and out of stores, I kept hearing all of the Christmas songs that were being played. And one of the Christmas songs I heard was that classic, "All I Want for Christmas Is My 2 Front Teeth," which I really don't understand that song at all. But the point of that is that it reminded me of a great Christmas sermon I once heard, and it was entitled, actually the sermon wasn't that great, but the title was great. It was, "All I Want for Christmas Is a Nap." And as I heard that, it reminded me of that title of that sermon I once heard, and I thought, yeah, that's exactly what I want for Christmas. It's just a nap. I'm tired. Is anybody here tired as I am? Anybody? You guys all okay? Well rested, maybe? I don't know. But it seems like every year at Christmas, it's like this. And we have so many expectations of this time of year. And expectations, if I'm honest with you, can just be so exhausting. Having to do everything, get everything done so everything's right, and we live up to all of the Christmas nostalgia and dreams in it, and what everybody wants from us. It seems to me that Christmas, more than anything, is the exhausting time of year, not the joyful, peaceful time of year. And here we are, right in the midst of it, with a couple days remaining until Christmas arrives. I know it's Advent. For those of you who are liturgical purists, we're not supposed to talk about Christmas, we're supposed to talk about Advent. But in our society, Christmas is already here, right? It arrived in November. But this is the thing. In the story that we read today, our gospel story, we learn about Joseph. And there's very little information we know about the father of Jesus. Joseph was the kind of guy, he's disappeared by the time Jesus is an adult. He's nowhere to be found. He's not buried at his death and resurrection. He's not there when the family comes to collect him. There's no mention of him. And so we have very few pictures or information about him. In fact, the gospel passage that we read today is probably the most complete glimpse at who is the father of Jesus. What kind of a guy is he? And we learned something very important about Joseph. It is Mary, at this point in the story, is already pregnant, and Joseph is doing the thing that, there's expectations that he has. He's been betrothed to Mary, which is the same as being married. She's supposed to be faithful to him. She's gotten herself pregnant. And there's expectations about what he's supposed to do in this kind of a situation. He's supposed to basically trot her out in front of the whole village and publicly shame her. deny her, decry her, heap just gobs and gobs of disgrace and humiliation, and she's got to just stand there and take it while people just stare at her and probably pick up a stone and throw it, either literally or metaphorically, I'm sure. It's a horrible experience for a young woman to have to go through. But Joseph is expected to do these things. Why? Because he's got to save face for his family. The disgrace cannot come upon his family. It's got to be heaped all back upon her. What she's done is unforgivable. He needs to save himself, his family, his reputation, and he needs to do it publicly in a way that humiliates her and makes him feel better somehow. But as Joseph is faced with this really horrible situation of how he's supposed to treat someone, we find out what kind of a person he is. Because long before the angel comes and talks to Joseph, Joseph says, you know, this is just wrong. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be part of such a humiliating, disgraceful, horrible thing to do to a young teenage woman. I don't know the circumstances behind the choices that she made, but no one deserves to be like this. And so we learn that Joseph is someone that colors outside the lines, who's able and willing to be countercultural, to go against the grain, to do the right thing despite what everybody else tells him to do. And he chooses to do the right thing for the sake of a person who we don't know. Does he love her? How deeply? He doesn't love her in the way that he's going to love her in years to come. He doesn't know her that well. But he's the type of person that no matter what's been done to him, he's not going to retaliate. He's not going to do this awful thing to this young girl who's probably afraid and alone and already feeling rejected enough. So Joseph decides that he is going to just do this quietly so that she does not have to bear this horrible burden, this grief, this humiliation, this disgrace in front of other people. And then he has a dream. The angel explains things to him, and Joseph decides to go along and say, okay, she has been given this incredible mission, that's filled with both joys and burdens and fear and everything that's wrapped up in that. She's got to go on this journey. I'm not going to abandon her. Who cares what my family says? Who cares what other people say? I'm going to do the right thing. And so, with just a little bit of a nudge from the angel, come on, that explanation in that dream was not enough to convince me to change my plan. I don't know why Joseph changed, but you could tell he was looking for something. I don't know what, but he gets this nudge from this angel, and he's going to go beyond what he even thought he himself was capable of doing, and doing something even more profound, even greater. And it was going to change his life. We have a video. This is about Joseph, and maybe something that he was experiencing. Go ahead and let's show the video.
Don't worry, my boy. You'll be nice and warm. I wrapped you in your mother's old blanket. Some start with that, huh? A 90-mile walk, just so you can get born in a stable. You know, if we were back home in Nazareth, I could build you a fine crib. But here, no crib. I have to put you to sleep in the hay. You know, I had my own visit from an angel. I had to write it down so I wouldn't forget what it said. Joseph, son of David, fear not to take Mary for your wife. For what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son. You shall call his name Jesus. He will save the people from their sins. Did you hear that? You will save us from our sins. You are the Messiah. And I've been chosen to be the Messiah's papa. I do not know how it will happen, but I'm done doubting. I want to tell you how happy you make me. No, it's more than happiness. It's what did the shepherds say the angels told them? They bring good news, great joy. Yes, that's what it is. It's joy. That's what you bring. My sweet, beautiful boy. You bring me so much joy.
Joseph, I'm sure, gets to have a moment like this, and probably many moments like this, because he defied expectations. Because he didn't do what everybody told him to do. Instead, he chose to do the thing that was based in love, to believe in people, to go against the grain, and be countercultural and say, I'm not going to seek vengeance. Instead, I am going to care and to love those whom God has brought in my life. The Christmas story at its very heart is the story of defying expectations. It's the story of God doing the unthinkable, the thing that no one expected God to do. Doing it in such a way that made God vulnerable, but expressed to us an ultimate example of love. We put many expectations in our lives. Expectations to have the perfect meal, to get the perfect gift, to have the perfect moment of peace at Christmas. We have expectations to have a great holiday time and to have a life filled with joy and peace. And we put so many expectations on ourselves at this time of year to live up to images that our society has given us. But I think maybe in the midst of our busyness, and let's face it, our hecticness and busyness and upheaval that's going on, no matter what we're doing, it's not as much as Mary and Joseph were facing in those days. But amidst all of this, maybe we need to defy expectations. Maybe we need to not worry so much about having a perfect ham or wrapping the gift the right way. Maybe we need, or having children not mess up the house. Maybe what we need most of all, is to put away those expectations and having to have the perfect holiday, and instead defy this world and love as God has loved us, to love others and to accept and to look out for people as Joseph was looking out for people, and to love in such a way the world couldn't even fathom. Defy and to love beyond our means, because the world doesn't expect us to love this way. The world expects us to love in ways that only profit ourselves. But instead, how about this Christmas? We do that very thing. We love beyond our means and defy the expectations that the world has put upon us. Amen? Our takeaways for today. And remember, our takeaways are always the truths, the main truths that we encounter in Scripture that we hook our faith on and take home with us. Last week's takeaways are listed in your bulletin. But this week's takeaways are Joseph is prepared to go against expectations and rules so that a person's dignity can be saved. That's such an important truth for us to embrace, especially this time of year. And the second one, the capacity to love beyond the world's expectations or means is the essential thing of the Christmas story. It's something we can focus on beyond just getting and having the perfect party. Let's stand for our song today.